Hey, welcome to a new video. You are sitting at the bus stop waiting for the bus when the unimaginable happens. An alien invasion takes place right before your eyes. In this video, a giant UFO passes by in the sky, and then a tiger runs towards you, and robots come running towards you. You would just be one of the people waiting for the bus when this happens. Fortunately, it's not real and was just a Pepsi Max campaign that used AR technology on a billboard at the bus stop. Which of these moments would have scared you the most?
Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we start, also like the video. In the following video, we see a girl named Micaiah who was making a dance video for TikTok. When she looked back at the video footage, she saw a dark figure walking from one room to another in the background. But now the story gets really scary. She told her father, and he said he had seen the same ghost before. How creepy is that? A YouTuber named Dylan Anderson uploaded a video on his YouTube channel, Big Dill, in which he hears an eerie scream coming from a forest. When he heard the scream, he decided to start filming in pitch darkness at 10 o'clock at night. Behind the fence where he sits is a huge forest full of wildlife. The fence also protects people from what is hiding there. At one point, he hears this sound. Just listen.
And my friend's inside right now, but I'm getting this footage. And did you hear that? That was it. Oh.
People in the comments said that at the moment the scream happens, a light-like thing or creature with luminous eyes seems to jump out of the tree or disappear. Whatever this may be, it's pretty creepy. Brendan Taylor is a YouTuber who in October 2016 explored an abandoned motel near Las Vegas. People who live nearby say that there are rumors of strange things happening in the past and possible sightings of ghosts. The motel has been completely abandoned since 1990. However, when Brennan and his friends explore the place, they suddenly hear a voice. They feel like something might be living there, but they find no one. At one point, they hear a loud noise and decided to run downstairs to get away. But just before turning the corner, you can see a woman standing on the balcony. According to people in the comments, the woman is wearing clothes from the 90s, the same period when the motel was abandoned. Some think it was a ghost, while others say it could have been a homeless person. But it's certainly creepy that they weren't alone. People install doorbell cameras for various reasons, providing homeowners with a sense of security and peace of mind. But this next doorbell camera recorded something strange, and the homeowners didn't even dare to go outside when they saw this being in the footage. When the person published the video, they mentioned that the being resembled Casper the Friendly Ghost. You can see the shadowy figure moving on the camera. But if you think it's just walking away, it gets even creepier, because a dark figure also appears on the right. Some people think it's an apparition from another era. Others suggest it might be different spirits or the same spirit somehow changing shape as it walks away into the night. Popular footballer Neymar loves to stream on Twitch in front of many fans in his spare time. In this video, he plays a horror game during Halloween with some friends. Neymar's surrounded by Halloween decorations, and someone told him to take a look over his shoulder. We see someone standing behind Neymar with a monster-like mask, and it scared the footballer to death. The 28-year-old footballer seemed to be genuinely scared. However, the masked man burst out laughing, along with the rest of Twitch, and revealed that it was just a joke. The man behind the mask was his good friend, Gil Cabola. How would you react if your friend scared you like that? Let me know in the comments. A TikToker named Mama Dab claims that she is a friendly invisible housemate. When she throws a balloon up the stairs, it stays there. But what happens next is even scarier. She tells the spirit named Steven to release the balloon, and this happens. However, she's also recorded another video in which the same thing happened. Do you believe in friendly spirits? Let me know in the comments. There's no earthly explanation for what just crawled past on all fours in front of this surveillance camera. The person who originally shared the video believed they were looking at a ghost, but other people in the comments believe the figure resembled more of a creature like a Skinwalker. If it's a ghost, it's severely distorted by the camera. Tamil Nadu, the location where this occurred, has a rich history and folklore surrounding spirits, specifically highway spirits. Highway spirits refer to urban legends surrounding haunted highways or roads, and this might have been what was in this video. These legends often involve rumors and reports of ghostly apparitions, phantom hitchhikers, ghostly figures, repeating highways, and other supernatural phenomena. The story of highway spirits also vary by region and often include unsolved mysteries or supernatural encounters. If you watch a lot of scary videos, you must have heard of Slender Man, a fictional character who had become a creepypasta in 2009. However, some people claim to have seen Slender Man in real life. So did two guys from the YouTube channel Shimmy Jim Hog. The video was uploaded in November of 2013, and we first see a memorial stone with multiple holes in it indicating a cross. Why there are holes in it, I don't know, but the two boys are all alone at a cemetery when they see in the distance a whitish man standing in a suit. The creepy thing about this is that it looks like the man doesn't have a face. He's also staring at the boys, but they decide to walk towards him. Just after that, the video seems to end abruptly. So what happens next, I don't know, but some claim that this was Slender Man. What do you think?
Nature is very beautiful until you see its fury with your own eyes. You might think that buses can't just be moved. In fact, the average bus weighs between 10,000 and 25,000 kilograms. Fortunately, this bus had no passengers on board when this incident occurred. After a heavy rainstorm and incessant rain in northern India, this bus was swept along as if it weighed nothing. The bus floated through the water in the Base River, in the state of Himachal Pradesh. You can see in the video footage how the raging water violently dragged the bus along.
Have you ever experienced sleepwalking? The following girl was horrified when she suddenly saw her sister Lexi standing in front of her bed at night. She called out her name several times, but Lexi didn't respond and didn't even blink her eyes. She just stood there staring at her sister. Fortunately, their mother arrived and woke the girl up. Who knows what might have happened otherwise? A video uploaded in May 2017 by a YouTube channel called Cringy Parkour shows a boy who hears a sound as he passes through a tunnel. When he decides to go further into the tunnel, he suddenly sees a strange-looking creature running towards him.
Hello?
The boy is startled, turns around, and runs out of the tunnel as fast as he can. I have no idea if this video is real or not, but if it's not real, the creature looks pretty believable and terrifying in my opinion. During a broadcast in May of 2020, Pope Francis gave a speech somewhere in Vatican City near a window of a building on the top floor. The Pope is the head of the Catholic Church and the Bishop of Rome, and has both political and religious duties. So when he gave a live speech on television, something strange happened. After the Pope did his speech, he stepped back inside and disappeared from out of nowhere. The uploader says that the government would have tried to remove all footage of this event from the internet. The most explainable reason would be that the Pope was a hologram. A hologram is a technology to turn a person into a three-dimensional image in the form of a film or sensor. In 2014, they had made a hologram version of Tupac performing at the Coachella Music Festival. However, there were no statements made that they would use holograms of the Pope, so this moment remains very creepy and unanswered. Logan Paul is a famous YouTuber with over 23 million subscribers, who used to upload daily videos in February 2017. One day, a friend of his was visiting a creepy cabin, and after he uploaded the video, his viewers noticed something disturbing in the footage.
Dude, there's a cat right there, there's a cat.
Did you see that? Did you see that? I'm gonna play it again.
Dude, there's a cat right there, there's a cat.
As you can see, a shadowy figure appears to walk across the screen. While you might think it's fake, Logan decides to check the original unedited footage, and even plays it in slow motion. In my opinion, it's inexplicable, and could have been a ghost. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. It's believed that anyone who saw the photo album in this house was cursed. In Watanabe's grandmother's house, there was a door she was never supposed to open. After her grandfather's passing, the woman found herself on the second floor when a sound from downstairs caught her attention. To her surprise, the forbidden door was slightly ajar, with her grandmother present, engrossed in placing a photo album inside. Strangely, the woman recalls her grandmother's face seemed to wear a disturbing smile. The next day, she had to find out what was inside the door. She discovered a photo album filled with creepy dolls. Shortly after this encounter, the woman was hospitalized with a high fever. She refused to see her grandmother for the next 5 years, and after the grandmother's passing, Watanabe hired someone to investigate this house, only to accidentally leave his camera behind. The recovered video footage from the camera shows a weathered state of the photo album. The man who saw the contents of the album underwent a striking, unsettling transformation. He too fell ill. The video footage shows him saying to someone, "Come here," although there was no one else in the house. He later claimed he felt a tangible menace emanating from the photo album, prompting him to tape it shut and return it to the chest before hastily leaving the house. However, the album was found on the floor of the house 2 weeks later. When he reviewed the footage, he saw a creepy figure with its head bowed in the background, although he claimed there was no one present in the house. Andy Milonakis is a former American actor who nowadays live streams on Twitch. While sitting at a table at a restaurant, a homeless man approaches him and offers him a lollipop. Andy may look like a teenager, but he's actually 45 years old. And he realizes that the man has bad intentions and wants to take him to his house. Andy then tries to run away. If you were to watch the live stream, you might really get goosebumps, especially when the man tells you that he just came from a mental institution. However, Andy remains calm, because there's plenty of other people around. But if this were to happen to you, the best thing to do is probably just run away as quickly as possible. Bailey is an employee of a theater that he claims is haunted. It was a Saturday night when he was doing his routine checkup. At one point, Bailey heard a noise coming from the balcony of the theater. When he looked, he saw nothing. But people in the comments said that there was 2 figures, or ghosts, that could be seen looking at him. Whether they're real ghosts or not, this is still pretty creepy. Jimmy Jimenez is an urban explorer who one day decided to journey into an abandoned ghost town in the mountains of Mexico. At one point, he comes across an abandoned and seemingly fortified house, and is determined to go inside. Upon entering, Jimmy discovers an abandoned home shrouded in layers of dust and grime, with the remnants of forgotten lives. At first, nothing seems out of the ordinary, but as Jimmy later returns to the same spot, the doll is suddenly upright, its gaze fixated on him as if silently observing his every move. Unaware of this unsettling transformation, Jimmy exits the house, oblivious to the inexplicable encounter he just captured. It's important to note that the video footage forms an uninterrupted sequence, with only the barking of a stray dog in the distance and Jimmy's own movements audible. There's no other sounds, footsteps, or signs of movement perceptible. The following video is not so much about ghosts or creatures, but it's pretty scary when you think about it. We see an airplane flying close to another airplane. I have no idea to what extent this clip is real, but the plane that we see being filmed seems to be from an airline Air Canada Rogue. If we look closely, even the pilots are sitting in the cockpit, and their facial expressions don't really say much. It doesn't look like there's any panic. The video might have been edited, but it looks pretty realistic. But why the 2 planes flew so close to each other, I have no idea. But this seems pretty frightening to me. I don't want to think about looking out the window and suddenly seeing another plane flying next to you. There's a good chance you may have had a doll as a toy in your childhood. As you get older, these dolls can get kinda creepy, because they just stare at you and they just stand still. Or do they? There's hundreds of stories and even videos on the internet of dolls that started moving from out of nowhere. A YouTuber named Spooky Lynx thought it was a good idea to buy a spooky doll from the internet. The following days, he filmed all the events. When he's gaming with his friend, you can see the doll slowly move forward, but the creepiest part is when he hung the doll in the hallway near his bedroom. The hand of the doll moves upwards in a very realistic way. I have no idea how this can be explained. What do you think?
With a shark-like mouth full of yellow teeth, bloodshot eyes, and the mannerisms of someone about to take a bite out of someone's brain, you don't want to sit next to this guy on the bus. This photo was reportedly taken in San Francisco during a bus ride at night. Whoever took this photo couldn't let the moment pass without documenting the strange-looking man. The creepy man on the bus has also been compared to the villain from Men in Black, Boris the Animal.
A TikToker named Remy was on vacation somewhere when he saw something strange in the river. He himself thought it might be the Loch Ness Monster. What do you think he captured on camera here? Is it just a rock or some other strange sea monster? Let me know in the comments. In March 2019, a video shows in which something appears to be moving in front of their 15-month-old baby's crib. The family, who lives in Holland, Michigan in the United States, had captured footage on a baby monitor, which looks like some kind of old white light ghost. If you look closely, you can see a ghostly figure passing the crib. Even the little girl called Lily seems to notice that something's there. The parents of the baby, Heather Bro and Joshua Higgins, even say that their little girls would have been scratched by this ghost. According to them, the previous owner is said to have jumped out of the window, and his spirit is said to haunt the house. Exercising and training your body is always good for your health, but if we're to believe this video, some ghosts also like to do it. The video was uploaded in January of 2020 on Mohammed Soleiman's Facebook page. We see an outdoor area with some fitness equipment. It's quite dark outside and Mohammed seems to be the only person around. When he sees the fitness machine moving, he decides to grab his phone to film it. Because the device moves up and down, it doesn't seem to me that this is done by a rope. But there's no one around the thing. So how is this possible? Some believe it was a djinn. Djinns are invisible and powerful ghosts or demons from the Arabic folklore. I myself have no idea what this could have been. If you have any ideas, then let me know in the comments. Franco TV is a YouTuber known for exploring paranormal places. In this video, uploaded in September 2019, he explores a spooky cemetery in the middle of the day. He feels like someone is still around, but since he doesn't see anyone, he decides to continue. But suddenly he sees something. Watch it here. An older woman seemed to be sitting in a chair in one of the crypts. She could of course be visiting a deceased family member. But when Franco walks to the room, she suddenly disappears. A few minutes later, he encounters the woman again. But this time she's sitting on a bench staring at one of the gravestones. When he calls out to her, she doesn't answer him and just looks at him. Franco himself doesn't know if this was a ghost or a woman who didn't want to be disturbed. But if you encounter something like this at night, it would be really scary. Have you ever been alone and swear you feel like someone's standing over your shoulder? You turn around and there's nothing there. In the following video, we see something eerie happening in the background. Did you see it? Let me show you again. In a fleeting moment that vanishes in an instant, a ghostly face appears over the girl's shoulder. This revelation has left viewers puzzled and sparked a wave of speculation about the origin of the figure. For those brave enough, it raises chilling questions. Was it merely a play of light, or something much more sinister lurking in the shadows? Some say the brain can provide conflicting visual info that leads to hallucinations, or the perception of a presence that isn't actually there. This phenomenon has been observed in studies where ghostly presences were induced. But in this case, the figure appears to be a real ghost, don't you think? What happened to the next streamer in Holotide remains a mystery. He's playing a game when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he heard something. Just listen.
Oh my god, that is pretty holy shit. Here, I'll tell you later.
It seemed like something or someone was making a knocking sound as he jumps out of his seat. He has no idea where it came from, and the people in the reactions heard the sound as well. Judging by his reaction, he was really frightened. When he asked his friends if they heard the sound too, they say no. But they suggest maybe it was a ghost. Could his house be haunted, or how else could this knocking be explained? If you heard a knocking sound at night while gaming, what would you do? I might move, because this is definitely really creepy. Randonautica is an app launched in early 2020 that randomly generates coordinates near the area that users can explore. But several people came across disturbing things when they were exploring the areas. In this video, Haley encounters a creepy woman in the middle of an abandoned park who even came running after her. Haley says she immediately deleted the app after this creepy encounter. In this video, we see some ghost hunters whose dog Pixie, a Jack Russell Terrier, is part of the paranormal investigation team. Pixie would stop at various places and refuse to move. According to the dog's owners, orbs of light could be seen when they took pictures, so she definitely had a talent for detecting ghosts. When the dog noticed something, the owners analyzed the body language. The dog would stop unexpectedly, and she would sniff the air or bark if she felt something was nearby. In this video, you can see that the research team took Pixie to a type of hotel called Pickering Creek Inn. This is a place where multiple ghost sightings occurred. Pixie also ends up finding an abandoned underground railroad, which is quite clever of the dog. This TikToker, who stated that she lived alone, had a simple question for the internet. Do you see this face too? The response was overwhelming as viewers told the TikToker that it seemed like there was someone else in her house. If you initially think that you don't see the face, give it a moment until it appears in the window above the door. The most disturbing aspect of this presence is in a sudden jump scare. Imagine a figure of extraordinary height gradually appearing before your eyes, and its presence alone is enough to send shivers down your spine. And you know you're in trouble when your cat sees it. It's his towering statue that allows him to manifest in such a deliberate and unhurried manner. How quickly would you move out? In the following video, we see a man standing somewhere near a train station with his hands in his pockets, and with his headphones on his head listening to some music. At a certain moment, a woman walks up with a skateboard and a spray can. She seems to be keeping an eye on the man, and eventually goes over there and sprays something on the back of his jacket. Unfortunately, I can't show exactly what she sprays on his jacket, but I can tell you that it starts with the letter P. While she's doing this, the man doesn't seem to notice at all. I don't know what the intention of this was, but it's very embarrassing for the man if other people would see what was sprayed on his back. A bit later, we see her waving her skateboard around. So what the intention of the woman was is not entirely clear, but she seems to enjoy it. It looks like she knows she's being filmed, which makes it a lot more creepy.
This man named Glorioso has one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, driving on the most treacherous bus routes in the world. Since he was 12 years old, he's been driving through the Andes. Now, more than 5 decades later, his experience serves him in his daily confrontation with fate. His route takes him 1,000 meters along a road called the Horse Killer, full of sharp turns that certainly seem unsuitable for a bus. The risk of falling into the abyss increases as the road progresses. However, there's a saying from the locals in this Peruvian area that says, "It's better to arrive a little too late in this world than too early in the next world."
This TikToker named Dries Perry is also bothered by spirits in his own home. When he asks the entity to make itself known, it actually happens. People in the comments told him to put salt down in the hallway. He did this and found foot and handprints on the floor and wall that should be from a ghost. According to the people in the comments, it's not an ordinary ghost, because according to them, only demons could climb walls. A TikTok user named Security1275 was on duty at night at some sort of crypt in Savannah, a city in Georgia in the United States. This is said to be one of the most haunted places in the world, and after seeing this footage, you'll probably agree. Because the guard heard noises earlier, he grabbed his phone while walking around looking for the sound.
Hello? Yeah.
He doesn't find anyone and decides to walk outside for a moment to look back at the camera footage, and what he noticed is pretty terrifying. If you look closely, you can see a young child standing behind a wall on the right. Could this be a little boy who was bullying him, or was this a ghost? Just before he wants to leave, he sees flickering lights coming from a side building. He decides to take a look for the last time, and then this happens.
I'm really not sure what's going on here. Nope. Yeah, I'm done.
This next video was filmed by a Russian YouTuber called Treacherous in September 2016. The description states that he discovered an unknown creature in a Russian forest, and that he captured it with his smartphone camera. As you can see, at one point he stumbles into a hole in the ground, which has been boarded up with the wooden planks. When he takes a look at what is hiding there, he suddenly sees a strange creature with blue eyes. The video has 2,300 likes with only 70 dislikes, which in my opinion shows that it might be real. If the video was fake, it probably would have gotten a lot more dislikes. What this creature could have been, I have no clue. I'll leave that up to you to decide. Maybe it was a ghost sighting, an animal that we can't see in the dark, or just an inexplicable creature. The Bucket List Boys is a YouTube channel of a group of friends exploring old abandoned places. In this video, they're at a spooky hospital that's been empty for decades. The hospital has a dark history, and for the most part, nothing happens. However, at 3 a.m., the mood changes in the group. As they explore one of the rooms, they hear a noise. One of the boys thinks it's his friend trying to scare him, but he says it's not him. They decide to continue and they run into something that scares them.
Wait, this.
No.
Did you hear that?
What the? No.
As you saw, a small bike came riding towards them, which reminded me of the movie Saw. They run away and almost fall into a large hole in the floor. I don't know if this was staged, but let's hope it was a joke by one of the boys. A Reddit user captured footage in their backyard after receiving a motion sensor alert. Is this a ghostly apparition or just a camera glitch? The video footage depicts the eerie figure resembling a gray alien, and it appears to linger for a few seconds before disappearing again. Paranormal phenomena captured on camera often sparks debate. Skeptics suggest that camera glitches, lens smudges, motion blur, or mist can sometimes create the illusion of supernatural beings. But that still doesn't explain why the motion detection sensor went off. The most popular theory regarding the identity of what this was is wild. It's that we're looking at the ghost of an alien because of how translucent it appears. If it was just a glitch, why would it also take on a humanoid form? Wreckful was a popular American Twitch streamer and esports player. He had a worldwide reputation for his skills and achievements in World of Warcraft. While live streaming at night in real life, he noticed that at one point he was being followed by a masked man. Wreckful turned the camera so that the fans who were watching his live stream could see what was happening. Everyone seemed to agree that he was being followed, but just to make sure, he turned around to see what the man was doing. Just as he took a relieved breath, he was shocked because the other man turned around as well. Wreckful then decided to run away, and we can see the man running after him. Fortunately, the man turned out to be a fan, but still, of course, this is pretty creepy, don't you think? The girl in the following video had bought an old mirror for her apartment, but according to her, sometimes the mirror reflects things that are not actually there. Did you see it? If you look at the couch, you can see a humanoid figure or ghost sitting there. Could this mean the mirror is haunted? Pretty creepy if you ask me. I would have gotten rid of that mirror a long time ago. A YouTube channel called CPTV got the idea from some viewers to buy a spooky doll on eBay. Eventually, they had found a doll that cost about $20 with the description attached that the doll had been found in the attic with candles around it, while the previous owner was cleaning an old house. When the person returned from lunch break, the doll would suddenly be in a different place, and since this event, he also heard footsteps in the attic in his own house. When the boys put the doll down, their dog Saffron immediately ran up to it and started barking.
Saffron, what are you doing? Saff! Whoa!
It looks like the dog doesn't like the doll at all, and he even panics a bit, so the boys finally decide to dump the doll in the nearest canal. Dustin Lee Frazier, a TikToker hailing from the Appalachians, captured a spine-chilling apparition while Snapchatting with a friend during work. In his videos, he recounts numerous symptoms accompanying demonic possession. He reveals an incessant feeling of fatigue as peaceful sleep eludes him. Upon waking up, he discovers unexplained bruises on his body, and in an attempt to capture his terrifying encounters, he speculates that he may be haunted by a skinwalker. As Dustin navigates through various buildings, he captures moments where something menacing lurks behind him. It becomes evident that this pursuit is not confined to the physical realm alone. He confesses to regularly experiencing nausea, finding no relief in any medication. What do you think this is? Demonic possession or Skinwalker? A YouTuber named Richard205 Maria uploaded a video on September 2013, in which he claims to have captured some kind of a white-like demon or creature on camera in his backyard. He had noticed it in the past, so he decided to install a camera in the hopes that one day he could capture it on camera. If we play the footage in slow motion, we see a white thing flying upwards. If you play it in real time, this creature is very fast, and you can hardly see it. Some think it was a human form of a ball of light, while others say it looks more like an angel. In any case, it seems that most people in the comments agree that it's something that's not from this world. Critics would rather say that it's created on a computer with digital animation. Unfortunately, we'll probably never know, so we can only guess what it could have been. In the following video, we see a man named Resurrect who explores the creepy abandoned DeSoto mine somewhere in the American state of Arizona. The man and his stepfather loved to go on many adventures, but what they encountered here gave them chills. The man tells that they were the only ones in the cave, and he got the feeling as if something had happened here before. Anyway, this is what they heard. As you heard, it seemed like someone was walking on a wooden floor. This is very strange. Right after, this happened. His stepfather said that he had trouble breathing as well, and his flashlight went on and off. Someone in the comments thinks this might be water droplets, while others were convinced that there was a ghost haunting the place.
The chances of finding an abandoned haunted school bus are slim, but here we have a couple of YouTubers who stumbled upon a yellow bus in the middle of a forest. The outside of the bus looks creepy as hell. The bus has also been sprayed by graffiti with lyrics "Clown Bus." The inside of the bus is pretty creepy too, as the bus, which has been taken over by nature, looks disturbingly empty. People in the comments say they saw ghosts suddenly appearing in the video and mysterious lights moving behind the trees. Why do you think this bus was left like this?
The father woke up in the night and got the scare of his life, for he saw his daughter standing in his room with a shadow on the wall looking at her. I don't know if this is real or not, but let's hope this was staged, because the shadow on the wall seems to be much bigger than the girl. This video is from the Explore With Us YouTube channel and was uploaded on March 5th, 2018. They live-streamed an area with a number of abandoned houses near the Mojave Desert in California. They shine a flashlight into a number of properties with the windows boarded up. One of the houses they can look through, and they see a lot of junk and an old toilet. At one point, he hears a ringing sound.
The heck is that?
He decides to walk away from the group and starts looking to find where the sound's coming from. It eventually turns out to be a phone.
Should I answer that?
The viewers of his live stream tell him to pick up the phone. When he does so, he hears nothing on the other end of the line. But right after that, he does hear cars driving away. When he goes back to the abandoned buildings, he hears the phone ringing again.
What do you... Anybody know what that noise is?
After he hears cars around the area again, he decides to alert the group and they head off. What could this have been? What do you think? In this video uploaded by the YouTube user Dear Roman in 2017, we see a woman flying over a river via a zipline. This isn't just any river, it would be full of giant crocodiles. I have no idea why it was decided to hang a zipline here. Fortunately, the woman was well attached, but what if something goes wrong and she falls down? The zipline doesn't seem too safe to me. Anyway, at some point you see a huge crocodile jumping out of the water. The crocodile probably wanted a tasty snack, but fortunately the zipline was high enough and she retracted her legs so the crocodile couldn't reach her. Still, I would never dare to go on a zipline like this that's full of crocodiles. Would you dare? Let me know in the comments. This YouTuber named Vijama and his friends decided to do a 24-hour challenge in an abandoned spooky house. The house supposedly burnt down 10 years ago, and as soon as they climbed over the fence, they immediately got an eerie feeling. They eventually found a spot where they could sleep, and they fell asleep pretty quickly. However, the YouTuber was woken up a few hours later by his friend who heard something. They checked the room where the noise should have come from, and then this happened.
What the hell was that? Alex?
There was also a small side room in the room that was a dead end. But as you saw, it looked like there was a shadow person in the room. When they noticed this themselves, they quickly fled and didn't want to finish their challenge. But what do you think they saw? This dark mirror, with its seemingly autonomous movement, has the distinction of being the only object in the museum that defies explanation. The original owner acquired it at a paranormal fair near Columbus, and years later, after the owner's passing, the museum obtained this mysterious artifact. He recounted a chilling experience of gazing into the ominous depths of the mirror. The mirror serves as an eerie portal, offering a glimpse into the deepest fears of those who dare to look inside it, while simultaneously drawing in their energy. Museum visitors have witnessed their own transformations, aging before their own eyes to seeing playful winks, smiles, and even sudden disappearances. However, the most reported and disturbing phenomenon is seeing their own lifeless bodies staring back at them through the glass. Multiple visitors have reported unsettling glimpses of their own deceased forms. In the following livestream, 3 friends are playing a game when suddenly something creepy happens. They were talking to each other when one of them noticed something in the background. Watch what happened near the mannequin. As you can see, a suitcase moved from nowhere, as if there was an invisible force inside the mannequin. The man questions if others saw this too, and to their surprise, one of them even heard a sound. Unfortunately, not much more is known about the video, but it looks like his house might be haunted. Do you think this is the case, and do you believe in ghosts that can move things? Or what else could this have been? This TikToker's name, Squatchy, claims that the house he lived in from 2013 to 2017 is haunted, and he uploaded multiple videos to prove it. In the video footage, we can see several things in his house seem to move on their own. But besides the painting moving, he also has a stuffed rabbit that just falls over. Since Squatchy has only uploaded 4 videos to his TikTok, it makes his claim pretty believable. So I don't find it surprising that he's decided to move to another house. This video was uploaded on January 12, 2012 by a user named Epic Family Channel. One day, Kimberly, the owner, tells that she saw her cat acting a little strange. The cat seems to notice something in the room, but Kimberly doesn't see anything. At one point, the cat even begins to stand on its hind legs to get a better look at what's hiding above the dresser. Then the cat turns around with a very scared face. What could the cat have seen? Whatever it was, one thing's certain, the cat did not like it at all. Kimberly thinks it might have been a ghost, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments. TikToker Kathy Gallinger usually uploads cute videos of her cats, but on April 22nd, she shared a video that sent shivers down viewers' spines. In the video, she explains that she heard a strange noise coming from her bedroom. It all starts with an unexplained bang captured on camera, originating from her closet. But the disturbing events don't end there. Kathy's dog Lucy begins acting strangely around the closet doors, adding to the growing sense of unease. The closet mysteriously opens again, accompanied by a scratching sound that startles Lucy, prompting her to quickly flee the room. Determined to capture further strange activities, Kathy sets up an infrared camera to record at night while she sleeps, hoping to catch the closet doors moving on their own. When she checks the video footage the next day, she's astonished by what she sees. As the closet doors open by themselves, an eerie white mist seems to emanate from it. As the night approaches, the intensity of the event escalates. Once again, Kathy hears a scratching sound, causing her dog to run out of the room in fear. In the second video, you can see the closet doors swinging open as if being pushed from within by an invisible force.
Have you ever experienced something scary on a bus or at a bus stop? Let us know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we made, click one on the screen or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.